I'm Meredith Schooley. I'm an assistant coach for NC State Cheerleading.
Okay. So what got you into coaching?
I graduated in 2012, and so I cheered for 3 years at State, and I wasn't ready to be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to come back, and really it was like the group of seniors that were going to be, or the group of people that were going to be seniors after I graduated. I wanted to be a part of that year, so I asked if I could come back and help.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you plan on coaching for a while?
I will coach until the universe tells me to stop coaching. I mean, it takes up a lot of time, obviously. So, I'll do it until I can't do it anymore.
Who inspired you to be a coach?
Probably Annette, who was my coach. And then also one of my really good friends, Jordan, who was also my coach, when I was on small co-ed. They inspired me to want to coach because, I don't know, they made my time so enjoyable. I wanted to give back to the program.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
What are your responsibilities as a coach?
To go to practices, obviously work with other coaches to come up with our routines each year for nationals, to make sure games and other cheer events or sporting events are covered, and I guess that's it.
Would you recommend coaching to people who are interested?
Yeah, definitely. I think it can be really rewarding, and it's a great way to spend your time giving back to something that for me, NC State Cheerleading gave so much to me while I was in school, so I wanted to give back to that, and I have time on my hands, so might as well.
Cool. What qualities make a successful coach?
Someone who is selfless. I think someone who is nurturing, dedicated, and someone who's a good listener. Yeah.
Cool. How many years have you been coaching?
I've been coaching since 2012, so since August of 2012, so that's 6 years almost. Mm-hmm.
What has been the highlight of your coaching career?
Winning a national championship finally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What has been your biggest disappointment in your career?
Losing a national championship? I'm just kidding. Probably, honestly, last season was rough, I think, for a lot of people, and so it's disappointing to look back on that and to think what could I have done to make that better, and we've obviously made changes this year to correct those things, but it's really disappointing to look back and think of all the people who didn't finish the year with a good taste in their mouth, and
Yeah.
to think what could we have done to be more proactive at preventing that.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
What are your strengths as a coach?
I think I'm approachable for a lot of people, whereas the head coach might not be. People tend to be more afraid of the head coach. I think that assistant coaches and me in general can be approachable and maybe hopefully easy to talk to, and then just a different perspective on anything that we're looking at is really good. I think I provide a good perspective on that.
What are your weaknesses as a coach?
I can be a little emotional, I feel, sometimes. I think that the head coaches, Harold and Annette, do a really good job at separating, separating how people feel about them, and I think I tend to take it a little personally, and you can't do that as a coach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are your short-term coaching goals?
To win another national championship, and to win 2 national championships this year, and obviously to finish out the year in really good standing so people want to come back next year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What are your long-term coaching goals?
To really leave a legacy or help leave a legacy with Harold and Annette and Jason, with this whole coaching staff, and then I don't know, just to keep NC State Cheerleading on the map.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most frustrating part about coaching college kids?
I feel like it changes from like year to year because like when I first started coaching, it wasn't the same difficulties as it was like then.
Yeah.
I think just in general, like dealing with a lot of different personalities is really hard. And college kids are obviously they're adults or becoming adults, and they're in the process of like gaining independency, and so people have a tendency to like want to take control of like certain situations or be in control of their life and their schedule, and like that can be really hard because it's we're dealing with 50 different people on one team, and like so you can't treat like everyone like responds differently to certain coaching techniques and certain words, so it's hard to like pinpoint those things. And then also to go back to like college kids are like trying to gain independence is like you can't like create a schedule or create a practice or anything around one person. So just like trying to like figure out the whole team and like get people to come together and realize that there's like a larger goal versus like their own agenda.
Hey.
Yeah.
What are your favorite things about coaching?
Football games are really fun. Just being around college kids is fun. Like it puts things into perspective for me because like when I was a college kid, I thought like, oh my God, I have like no time for anything, just like every college kid thinks.
Yeah.
And like now I realize like, dang, I wish I was still in college. But like, I don't know, it keeps like, I'll like obviously tell people on the team certain things, and like I feel like I can take that and like apply it to my everyday life as well. Like if I have a bad attitude at work, I can think like, dang, I like tell these kids like at practice, that you need to leave like outside things like can affect your work, and it's the same thing like for me in like everyday life. So I feel like I'm constantly reminded of like by like the team to like be a better person like in everything that I do. And then I love doing games. Competition is obviously like super fun, probably the highlight of everyone's year. So yeah.
Okay. What are your least favorite things about coaching?
The games. I'm just kidding. No, but really I guess like the schedule can be isn't the worst part, but like obviously it can get pretty busy at times, and like trying to like maintain a social life and like your work life and then also cheer life can be a little difficult at times, but like we all support each other, like the coaching staff, so that's not too bad. But and then obviously just the bad days, like it's hard when you like go to work and you have a bad day and then you have to go to practice, and like it's really hard not to carry that like attitude over into practice, but really like you can't. So that's probably one of the hardest things, and then just to deal with.
Okay. What challenges do you face while coaching?
Dealing with 50 people, trying to like get them to be one team. Just like dealing with attitudes sometimes, like everybody has bad days, and like it's like I've said, it's really hard to separate like the bad day from practice, and so like just having to like come in and like roll with the punches that happen like every day at practice is pretty hard. I think that was it. Sorry.
Do you find coaching rewarding?
Yeah, very. I like whenever I think about, because obviously there are days that everybody feels like, oh, I don't know how much longer I can do this, but at the end of the day I think about it and I'm like, what else would I be doing with my time? Like it's really nice to like be able to do something that I love, and be able to give back to like Harold and Annette, who have worked so hard to like keep this program like as solid as it is, and it's just nice to like, I don't know, be around college kids. As hard as it is to be around college kids, sometimes it's nice to like keep those like relationships going.
Yeah. If you had the opportunity, would you coach at a different school?
Probably not. The only way I would ever do that is if I like moved or something and I could not coach at state.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't do high school just because I don't want to deal with parents. I want to do all-star because I don't want to deal with parents. I like dealing with college kids because you're dealing with them one-on-one. Like for the most part, you're not having to worry about like, outside people coming in and like having to talk to them too. I wouldn't, if I like stayed here, I would only coach at state, but if I moved like out of state somewhere, I think I would maybe like try and help out somewhere else.
Okay. And last question is, what is your favorite part about coaching for state?
My favorite part about coaching, it gives me something to do, like, with my time that I feel like is valuable. I'm not just like, I mean, as hard as it is sometimes to go from work to practice, I'm not just like going home and sitting around and doing nothing. So it's nice to, like I said, give back to the program that like really was important and special to me, like when I was in college. So I like doing that, and I like being hopefully a good influence to the people that are on the team, like while they're at school, but then also like being a good influence for like after they graduate to like be good people, and you know, hopefully we're like getting into where they need to be like in their career.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is that it?
Yep.